everyone and welcome back to War Collectibles. It's been a bit of a while since we last did a video, but with less than a week to go until we get to the new 2025-26 season and edition of the Champions League, we have the Match Attax by Topps back out. Now, obviously Topps have taken over both the Premier League edition as well as then this season's Match Attax. So lots and lots of Topps cards coming out, which most of you may or may not agree are looking fantastic at the minute. But I thought we would get started with opening the new Gladiator Megatins, which obviously you've got the 4 editions of the Spartans, the Warriors, the Centurions, and then I've forgotten the name of the last one already, the Battlers. So you've got the 4 editions there of the new Megatin, as well as then the starter pack, which are available in stores now. Obviously, variety of places that you can get all of these from. Got these particular ones from Smith's Toys, so looking forward to getting into these and getting them open. We'll start with the starter pack, and then we'll go through obviously the Megatins. But just quickly on the Megatins, obviously each one will have the 3 special edition cards that you've got down the bottom. So you've got the 3 special edition cards and then 45 cards in each one. I mean, the design of them looks pretty good. And it's nice to see that they've all got sort of a similar theme this year. But yeah, the logo's looking pretty cool on those. So just showing you all the different examples that we've got on all of these as we make our way then to the back of the starter pack. Now obviously the starter pack, it says guaranteed special insert cards inside, so we're starting with those. You've got a game guide. So obviously these ones you're then going to continue to be able to play with, which is going to be a little bit different from the Premier League cards because I think they just have the single rating on there. But yeah, you've got the game guide, you've got the binder, you've got the mat to be able to play, and the tactics combos card. But then you've also got some of the cards in there as well. So continuing with the Hall of Fames that we had last year, which looked pretty good. You've got different Starboy editions. You've got then sort of replacing the shields on sort of the chrome patches. But then you've got lots of different insert cards, which are looking pretty cool this year. You've got other chase cards like the Lethal Combo. You've got the Ice and the Red Hots. As I said, the Starboys, the 100 Clubs again. So yeah, lots and lots of different things to get excited about in this one. It obviously doesn't make it obvious on the starter pack as to how much you get inside, apart from just having the promise of the special inserts in there. So we'll get it cracked open and see what there is. Not sure which way is going to be the best way to do it, but we'll get into it all the same and we'll have a look at where we're at. The glue's pretty good on there, so if we can get into it. No prizes for opening it clean and tidy, but as we go from here, let's obviously just unfold that out a little bit. So obviously the binder. So just showing, see we've got nothing left in there, so let's go through and see what we're getting. So it looks like we have 2 packs. So we've got 12 cards in each pack, 4 of those being the special inserts. Okay, and then you're also going to have your special insert that's in there as well. You have the binder with all the various covers, and then we're actually going through the checklist already as well. So Again, a lot of the teams having smaller numbers over some of the regulars. So obviously the likes of Liverpool, Arsenal, Man City, Barcelona, Real Madrid, Bayern Munich, PSG. You're getting a lot more of those team players in there. Looks like you're going to have the special captain's cards again, like there was last year, as well as then all the team badges as well. We then have the game guide, so just how you can then use them to go through all of the different options of cards. So you've got the All Action Heroes cards, which look pretty cool. You've then got the Cup Champions, the Man of the Matches. You've got some of the Rainbow Foil, sort of the Moments cards. You've got the Showboats, the Magic Memories, Heritage cards again, which are based on the 2011-2012 design. Which, I mean, last year's were looking pretty good, but I think the classic designs that they always tend to bring out are looking good. They keep those looking really, really smart in keeping with the rest of the collection. You've got Stealth Strike, the 100 clubs again. You've got the Black Edge editions. You've got the Chrome Award winners. So a little bit different from the Shields this year. Slightly different design, but again, looking great. You've then got Platinum Pools that you can find again. As well as a number of different options with special inserts. So Worldies, I mean, some of those cards are looking pretty cool. Obviously, we've got the Gladiators to open. You've got the Ball Masters, the Graduates. So, yeah, lots and lots of cool cards to try and find. Obviously, the Relics and then the Jersey Relics as well. So hopefully, we'll be lucky enough to try and find some of those in the Mega Tins. Obviously, no booster tins out at the minute. Wasn't able to find the limited edition packs either. So we've got a few different cards to come out. And then, yeah, some of those extra chase cards. So as I said, the Ice and Red Hot, sort of 1 in 250 packs. You've then got the Lethal Combo. I mean, if you were lucky enough to come across one of the 5 auto cards, that's going to be pretty special. But again, you're going to be chasing the 1 in 500 pack of the Lethal Combo between Ronaldinho and Neymar. You've got lots of different options. So you're going to have other special editions that are going to come out later in the year. Obviously, the Countdown Calendar again, which looking pretty cool with the shirt design on there. You're then going to have your different Scream teams, your Star Ballers again. So released month by month. Obviously, you've got nothing coming out in November, but Scream Team for October, Star Ballers for December, and then obviously the Queens of Europe again, highlighting the women's game that will come out in January. But then you've got other exclusives that are online before going into all of the different products. So the mini tins we haven't got, but we've got all 4 editions of the mega tins. We haven't been able to get any of the multi-packs this time around. You have got the exclusives that are going to be at Smith's, which will come with the fired up version in selected packs. You're then going to have the eco packs that are going to come out as well, and then you've also got the rest of the checklist that's going to be on there. So let's keep going with the different pitch and rules that's all on there. Match Attax extras, which are going to come out later in the year, and then sorry if you did see that, Match Attax extras that will come out later in the year, and then obviously the rest of the checklist that will be able to go into the binder. And then again, decent quality binder for those that are doing this as the entry hobby. If you are going for anything that's a little bit more premium, then probably a good idea to get yourself a nicer binder. But a good starting point for collecting majority of these cards. So we'll get started. Obviously, it looks like the two different covers where you got Wirtz, you got Alexander-Arnold, Dembele, Harry Kane, Haaland, and Yamal on the different ones. So let's start over here and go with what we've got. So I'm not sure on how we're actually splitting these packs, but as we go, we will have a look. So quite a nice design this year. And we'll go through, I don't know what we're going to get from the back so we can come out. So we've got a Desiree Doué already, obviously great campaign last year. Kai Havertz, and then we're probably going to go, no, we're not going into the inserts just yet. So we've then got Endo for Liverpool as well. I'm going with Ryan Yates. We've got a Marcel Sabitzer. Oh, and then we've got an insert already. So let's go back to this side of an Alex Garcia, Unai Simon, Pedro Goncalves, for what looks like we're now going to be into some of the inserts. So not sure how we're going to be able to do that without giving too much away, but whoop. Oh no, we've got two of the foil cards on top of each other. So first look at the Heritage, which I must say looks pretty cool. Obviously a few more stats sort of broken down on there as well. So it looks like you got a block, tackle, head, shoot, pass and cross rating for those that are lucky enough to get on the Heritage. But a nice sort of clean foil look to it on there. And then it looks like we've actually got a Black Edge edition going from the Conference League. Moises Kane for Fiorentina. Again, these Black Edge editions are going to be a very, very nice edition. Sorry, no, that's a Stealth Strike as well. It's not Black Edge edition. It's all the black border. We've actually got one of those. I mean, we've got something quite cool at the back as well. And then next, just to make sure that we've got these up the right way. So going down, so we've got a Champions League for PSG. There's a foil card in there, but is it going to be... There we go. We've got a man of the match. These look pretty cool. You've got a nice nice design on those for the man of the match wild cards. And again, Nuno Mendes, one of the standout players for PSG in their route to winning Champions League last year. And then what have we got on here? I don't really know the best way to do it. So we've got another Champions League with a nice all-action hero in Inaki Williams. We'll see. Brother Nico has been a standout performer for them in recent seasons. But again, Bilbao, one of the teams to sort of watch and see how they get on. Probably not one of the main contenders, but I mean, that card has a fantastic design on it. Really like the look of that one. Almost a bit of an Aztec theme going around the outside, but yeah, an all-action hero insert there, which they do look pretty good. Probably his brother Nico is more of the player to look out for than Inaki, but yeah, they'll be pleased that they managed to keep hold of his brother for the season. Next pack, let's get into it. So again, obviously starting off with a Napoli card. I didn't actually count how many we took off from the back, but we'll go from the reverse to the front. So Kuznov. We've then got Morgan Rogers, Arthur Theate. Not really sure, not familiar with his name. But over at Frankfurt, we've then got another one for me to struggle with. Schleudrup. I know that he's sort of one of the young prospects that they've got coming through. Well, again, looking good. So it'll be interesting to see. Obviously, Benfica are always good for a sort of emerging talent going through the Portuguese league. And then we have a Robin Proper for Rangers. Obviously, some of these, because they were going through the qualifying rounds, it doesn't actually say which league they're in, which is interesting. So obviously when they were producing these, Rangers were still trying to qualify and find out which competition they were going to be in. Obviously didn't end up going into the Champions League, so I think they got Europa in the end. So I don't know whether they'll do like they did last year with Lazio. I don't know whether they'll do an update on the card just to make sure that they've got the right competition emblem at the top. But that then gets us to our inserts. Again, I wasn't counting, so it'll be interesting to see when we go into the megatins how we get on with those. But we'll start with Napoli, as we've already said. Alphonso Davies over at Bayern Munich. We have Marc Bernal over at Barcelona. There's another young academy prospect coming through. So this now is a Black Edge edition. So wonder what we've got coming through here. We've got it from the Champions League. Can we see? Oh, I see Julian Alvarez, and again a fantastic design this year. Really like those. A lovely matte finish to the card with that sort of design popping out, which obviously as you catch the sun on it, you can just about see what's going on. But a fantastic matte finish on these ones. Again, a really nice looking card. I'm not sure how we're going to be able to go through this, but similar to last season, obviously breaking down those stats on the back. So it just gives you your career stats in the competition that they're in, and then their stats for last season as well. So yeah, Julian Alvarez obviously probably didn't have the best of times over at Man City, playing behind Haaland, but looking good over in Spain at the moment for Atletico Madrid. And there, but those Black Edge editions, really smart again this season. Bit of a shame on the centering actually. So the badge not very well centered in the middle. Be interesting to see if we get any more if they are centered slightly better. But it's a nice effect. Obviously within that, it's a matte finish, but then you've got the sort of more glossy finish on the badge, which looks quite smart as well. Sort of pops out a little bit more, which is pretty cool. Oh, I'll put those on the inserts. And then the other options, we're in with our Heritage for Lewis Ferguson over at Bologna. We then have, what's one of these ones here? What's the design on these ones? Magic Memories scores the winner in the Europa League. So that looking pretty cool. I mean, a bit of a sort of a retro look to it, but fantastic design again on those Magic Memories. Really nice looking card, and a nice way to remember for those Tottenham fans. Getting a trophy last season under Ange. This next one's upside down. So what have we got on here? We've got a Cup Champion. It's a Champions League, so it's going to be one of those winners. And a legend of the game in Samuel Eto'o during his time over at Inter. I mean, great striker. Quite a nice touch there with Champions League trophies. I'm going to have to say, not sure whether that is then going to relate to the player or the club. I'm hoping it's going to be to the player, because obviously a cup champion more linked into the player. So it doesn't say. Okay, so cup champion, obviously based on the legends, it has got a little sort of bit, so it will say the stats up till a certain point. So stats were updated up until the 1st of June 2025. So obviously for players like Eto who are no longer playing the game, they're going to be what they are. But those other players that are still in it that might be lucky enough to get one of these editions, then you may find that number could be changing. Bit of a print line underneath, which looks a bit weird underneath Cup Champions, but again, a very, very, very nice card. Great design on that again. So now we've got the special insert. I don't know what this could be. Obviously highlighting a few different ones. So I'm hoping it's a special insert, and then obviously you get your tactics card there. So let's spin that over first. So similar again to last year. I'm pretty sure last year it was all on one card as well, when they first came out. But they did the first edition versions, didn't they, when this one came out, which they haven't done the first editions this year by the looks of things. And then you insert cards. So I don't really know what these are going to be. We'll spin it around first. So also we know we've got a Man City player coming. But you've got a Speed Strike Kylian Mbappe as one of 2 limited editions. So, and then we've got a Goal Blast. Limited edition 1, limited edition 2. So, these are 2 that are highlighted on the front of the box. If we go back to the box there. So, obviously we're getting these 2 here. It doesn't say, it says guaranteed special insert cards inside. It doesn't necessarily say which ones they are. So it'll be interesting to see if we compare it to other pack openings. If these are the set ones that you get, but they are fantastic designs. I mean, the sort of the energy blast that you're getting out of there, it's almost got a bit of a sort of a matte finish to it, with that Goal Blast sort of popping out. A fantastic look to it for Erling Haaland. And then the Speed Strike as well, sort of quite a almost a sort of a retro gaming vibe on that one. But again, fantastic. Nice, vibrant, colourful design. Looking really, really good. 2 fantastic players at the minute. Obviously, both struggled a little bit last year in the Champions League. League form hadn't been that great either, but both fantastic players. Obviously, Haaland just coming off of scoring quite a few goals for country. And then you've got Mbappe, who is always a force to be reckoned with for both club and country. So, if we start by getting into these, we'll stand them up across the back so that we know which ones we've got. Obviously, transfers haven't been completely updated. So obviously in this particular box, looks like you get a Granit Xhaka over at Bayer Leverkusen. But obviously now back in the Premier League with Sunderland. But we'll get into this. So let's change up this order a little bit, because you do have numbers on it. So we have number 1, which we'll start with. So that is then the Centurions. Number 2 will then be the Warriors. Number 3, we're then going to have the Spartans, and number 4 we'll have the Battlers. So we'll go in order as we open them up and see if we're lucky enough to get any relics, but also check out the design. Check out the design of some of these cards on here as well. So nice design on the tins. So then going and getting in. So we'll see 45 cards. We are looking at 3 packs, and then obviously your, I guess, special edition pack which will have your 3 gladiator cards in it, as well as then some bonus other cards. So we'll leave that one till last, while we then go over the gladiators, and let's see what we get in these ones here. So if we go back to, so if I can work it out to where we are, so that looks like it's going to be a insert, so we'll bring these ones all to the front and go from there. So we'll start with Maximilian Bayer. We've got Murillo, obviously Nottingham Forest back in, getting into the Europa instead of the conference, obviously by the controversial swapping of Crystal Palace due to club ownership, but we'll leave that one. Chelsea, we've got Romero, Bernardo Silva, Serge Gnabry, Pau Kabasi, Alan Varela over at Porto, and then we are on to the inserts. So it looks like we are backwards on this first one, so let's reveal what should then be the heritage, which is going to be upside down. So if we do that, we've got Liverpool there. You probably just saw what we had at the back. So we've got the heritage Pepe. We then have the stealth strike of Cody Gakpo. We've then got, without revealing what that one is, so it looks like another magic moment from there of James Tavernier. Scores crucial brace against Dortmund to send Rangers into the last 16. So that's nice. It gives the moment. And then we finish off with another card that's the other way round. So what's this? We've got another Cup champion. So we've got a Champions League. How many have they won so far? 6 on there. So not too many that have won 6. You're probably looking at obviously one of the Real Madrid players. I reckon we're looking at maybe possibly a Toni Kroos or a Luka Modric. But there we go. Toni Kroos. Again, a fantastic look. You still got that sort of there's a little line that you've got in the print that's underneath Cup Champions. So I mean, you can't really see it popping up on the camera, but yeah, there is a little print line that you're getting on a few of these. So I don't know whether it is intentional or not. But again, fantastic, and obviously 6 Champions League titles is no mean feat, is it? So fantastic career for Toni Kroos. On there. Okay, Marcus Llorente is the first card there. And then obviously catching up with some of the transfers, but not necessarily all of them. We've got Jeremy Frimpong, Trent Alexander-Arnold, Oscar Gloch, I think his name's pronounced. But again, I'm going to have to apologise for some of my pronunciations. Miles Lewis-Skelly, fantastic breakout last season, but hasn't featured too much just yet for Arsenal this year. The PSG badge. As we saw when we first opened, Marcus Llorente. We've got the Sporting Club badge. Before we've got Pietro Camuso, I'm going to go with. So again, a young player that I'm not too familiar with. So as we start these off, we're obviously getting one reverse before we then get into what I thought was going to be a heritage card, but we're actually getting a showboat this time. So what have we got as that first showboat? Another Inter Milan legend card, if you like. Adriano. I mean, playing at Inter, he did have some great games. Obviously not as prolific as some of the Brazilian strikers that we've had over, especially in an Inter Milan shirt. But a great striker all the same. And those showboat cards do look fantastic. Really, really nice design with sort of the silhouettes going, the enlarged silhouettes going on behind. But again, some really nice sort of popping colours that come out of there. We will go with our first 100 club. There we go. Gianluigi Donnarumma. Obviously, fantastic campaign for PSG last year. Out of favour now with Luis Enrique, so moving over to Man City. But that design for the 100 clubs this year does look pretty cool. Nice black edge on the border. But yeah, really, really nice design. And happy that we've got our first 100 club. Those showboats look pretty special as well. We've got to go around the other way again. This looks like a man of the match coming up. So man of the match wild card. Interesting one. The fact that we've got a man of the match wild card for Jeremy Frimpong, where he hasn't actually made a Champions League appearance for Liverpool yet. But we'll go with that. Obviously strong performances for Leverkusen over the last couple of seasons. And then which way up are we on this one? So we have another all-action card, which we're the right way up with another Champions League. Let's see. So we've got an 88 on defence and an 82 in attack. So we're definitely looking at a centre midfielder. We're probably going to ruin it by the name to start with, aren't we? All-action hero. I don't know who that could be. Who's going to pop up on there? And it won't tell us the name, will it? Mikel Moreno for Arsenal. We probably could have spun the card round to give us an extra hint, but there we go. Mikel Moreno coming off the international break with a hat-trick for Spain in one of their games. 4 goals, I think, in total over the 2 matches. So good bit of form at the minute, but not quite hitting the heights that I think Arsenal fans would like him to. But another all-action hero, fantastic looking card. And we'll get into the final standard pack. And then come off of these. So where are those inserts from there? There we go. So Dennis Undav of Stuttgart. We then got the Bologna badge. Florian Wirtz. Obviously a lot of people going to be excited about seeing Liverpool this year, both in the Premier League and Champions League, with some of the star-studded names that they've got in Wirtz. Ekitike's obviously had a good start. Isak, Salah. I know obviously he hasn't transferred there, but yeah, you've got a very, very strong lineup for them this year. Probably one of the favourites to claim the Premier League as well as Champions League. Nick Pope for Newcastle. You then got Mario Götze over at Frankfurt. Upamecano. Rafinha. Again, Barcelona probably going to be one of the favourites with some of that attacking football that they've been playing. Kenneth Taylor over at Ajax. And I mean, I'm not sure how other people feel about the change in the badge, but I'm not sure if I'm a fan of what they've changed it to. But there we go. We have got another Black Edge edition coming up. Again, those designs are really, really nice. We've got Champions League, and it will probably tell us Joshua Kimmich before we've got it. Now, it does look like it's just a print error on the other one. That other one looks a lot more central, if we can actually get it to focus on it. So it looks more central. I mean, it doesn't look perfect, but it's definitely more central than than that one for that one with the Atletico Madrid badge. So slightly better on there. We go back to a heritage card with Luca Ranieri. What have we got coming up this time? So this time it looks like it's going to be another Magic Moments off of the Champions League for PSG. So we've got a Donnarumma on the Magic Moments. Shootout hero versus Liverpool as he saves 2 penalties to send PSG through. I mean, a number of good performances from him last season. I think most people would agree. And we've got another Cup Champions with someone else who's currently on 1 Champions League trophy. Well, I've kind of just half revealed it there, although it was just on the appearances. So a legend for, well, I say a legend. Obviously a fantastic player. I don't know whether he would get classed as a legend, but great career. Obviously going through Atletico Madrid to Liverpool to Chelsea and then back over and winning 3 of the European titles in the process, 1 Champions League, 2 Europa Leagues. But yeah, fantastic player in his day, especially when he first came over at Liverpool. Very, very strong performances from that man. But again, looking very, very good with sort of that cloud design in the back. So let's get into the exclusive edition pack that you get in these tins. I don't know which way round they're going to be for how they split it. I'm guessing they're going to be at the back potentially. We're just looking at the club because Rafinha is one of the players that you're going to get off of here. So let's have a look. Oh, I mean, what a start that is with picking up one of the inserts and the Magic Moments there. Possibly looking at, oh my goodness me, we have got ourselves a relic, whether that's a shirt relic or not, but I don't know if you can see just on the side you have got that thicker card which is going to be one of the relics. So we have been lucky enough in this first tin. What a result that is. But yeah, Magic Moments. So we've got scores a brace in added time to set up comeback victory over Manchester City for Rodrigo there on the Magic Moments. Now he is obviously blocking our relic card from there. Well, the inserts are actually, I'll put that there just so that we can reveal that at the end, because obviously the relics are pretty good, pretty hard to come by. In special edition tins. Looks like we're actually going to have the Centurions editions after that, and what a design that is. Fantastic look to those as well, with a Rafinha to start us off. We're also then going to see a Haaland in there as well, all based in their away kits at the minute for Man City. And then you're also finishing off with a Scott McTominay, who is, really put in some great performances since leaving Manchester United over in Napoli. Talk of Ballon d'Or, which would be surprising, but again, he has had a great season for them, helping them win the title last year over in Italy. So it'll be interesting to see how they get on in the Champions League. Looks like we're going to have another Stealth Strike, this time for Cole Palmer. Quite a cool matte finish, obviously not as solid as the Black Edge editions, but still a very, very nice design on those cards. And then what we've got an All Action coming up next as well. I mean, it looks like it's a full insert pack that you get as that final pack. I mean, it's a fantastic way of doing it. Now we've got this one upside down, so let's just reveal it from there. With a Chris Wood. I mean, what a season he had last season for Nottingham Forest. But again, very nice finish to the card. And another Cup champion. So, I mean, Cup champions are coming out quite regular. 94 in attack with 4 Champions League trophies for Barcelona. I mean, if this is a Messi, then he's the only one that I can think of that would have that many Champions League trophies. But it's an Iniesta on a 94 attack. Probably would be higher for Messi, to be honest. But what a player Iniesta was. 4 Champions League trophies on there. Fantastic player on that one. And I don't know, let's leave the relic to the end. Just because that is going to be, well, it'll be interesting to see if we get any more in some of these packs. But yeah, we'll leave that one there just to see what it is that we get. Let's get into tin number 2, which is the Warriors. So in this one, we're looking at a Lautaro Martinez. We've got Jude Bellingham and then a Virgil van Dijk on these. Gosh, I mean, they're never the easiest boxes to open, are they? I'm getting a little bit messy on these ones. So there we go again. Oh, before I push the phone over. So how do I want to do that? I mean, I can try and stand them up, but we're not going to be able to get them all on screen just yet. Right, we'll leave the special inserts to the side and then we'll get through these. So again, just changing up the order a little bit. So we've had 2 of those in the last one and then 2 of the other designs. So it looks like they are trying to change them up a little bit in what ones are in there. Let's get stuck straight in. So Palacio on there, that's one of the inserts to go again. So let's start off with a Jack Butland. We then got an Antonio Silva, Borussia Dortmund, Dominic Solanke, Vitor Royce, who's obviously gone on loan for the season over at Girona. You then got Palacios, Rafinha. We've done quite well so far, obviously quite a few cards, but that's the first one that I've recognised as then a duplicate already. And then with a Kenneth Taylor as well. So we are doubling up on a couple before we then get into our inserts. So we've got another Magic Moments of a Gareth Bale. So obviously the Magic Moments not just linked into last season. Scores incredible overhead kick in 2018 Champions League final. I mean, that was quite a special goal. You've got probably Ronaldo's that more people will remember in terms of an overhead kick, but I mean, what a goal that was for those people that may not have seen it. We then got a stealth strike again for Dominic Solanke. What else have we got coming through on these? So that is a man of the match again. It's time for Borussia Dortmund in Emre Can. And then finishing up with another Cup champion. We then got 6 again. Looking like we're potentially going to be on a defender. Danny Carvajal. So one of those sort of immovable, I guess, players that you're going to have in that Real Madrid team. Now that he's back from injury, pushing Trent out of the team. But fantastic to go and get those 6 titles. I don't know how we're going to go with getting through these any quicker, but there we go. Looks like I might have spotted a Black Edge edition in there as well coming up. So we've got Matt Sells and the Liverpool badge. I haven't actually seen any of the captains. Oh, okay, so they're not, as we said that, so they're down as leader cards for the captains, just in case obviously that might be changing. but they haven't got that that sort of foil finish, if you like they did with the captain's card last year. So just the highlight of leader in the corner. We then got Beraldo, the Eintracht Frankfurt badge, Weston McKennie, Federico DeMarco over at Inter. Are we getting into... Nope, not just yet. Not into those. Napoli. And now we're into our inserts. So it does seem to be a reverse on a lot of these whenever you're getting to the inserts. So we're back to the heritage cards with a Jan Sommer. We then have another 100 club in Mohamed Salah. We've then got, here we go, counter attack. What are these ones? So these are then those foil finishes, which I think are slightly harder to come by. I'll have to double check the game guide. But there we go, just one of those on the sort of the field level view. Juventus break up a Manchester City attack before capping off an attack of their own with McKennie bagging a superb acrobatic goal. Again, sort of a nice design on those with the border, getting that field level view for those ones. So if I just quickly go back into the, I think it's the game guide. Let's see. So just while we have a quick look at those. So we've been pretty good. Been pretty good to get a relic already with the jersey relic. That's 1 in 50 megatins, so we've done pretty well there. To get any of the others, so the limited editions. There will be more limited editions to get, so I don't know if you will be changing any of those up. Oh no, so yeah. The limited editions, just going back over it, the Haaland and the Mbappe limited editions that we got in the starter pack are exclusive to the starter pack. Then you have some of the Star Boys on there as well. So the 100 clubs, 1 in every 12 packs. So I think with how many we've opened at the moment, we're not doing too bad on those. The Black Edge editions are 1 in every 16 packs. So again, we're coming up to a, well, I thought we had another one coming in there, but it was actually another 100 club. Although, I thought there was a black back to them. No, I must have been wrong. So I obviously just saw it, the fact that it was facing backwards in the pack. On there, you've got Stealth Strike. Doesn't actually say how rare those ones are. Okay, so these counter attacks are 1 in 3 in every pack, or 1 to 3 in every pack. Or is that just saying on the rainbow? So there's 9 to collect of those ones. Oh, it's just showing. No, so there's 1 to 3 that you'll see in every pack, and that's on all of the rainbow foils. So that's between the counter attacks, the showboats, the heritage cards, as well as then the magic memories. So it doesn't actually say how rare they are. It just says how many you're potentially going to see in each pack that you're opening. So not particularly a rare card, but again, a nice addition to it. And then what do we have after that? We've got, it looks like a man of the match design. So unless they're changing that up for the different competition, yeah, so potentially changing it up based on the competition that they're in. But an Elliot Anderson, I mean, man of the match wild card, not really sure how they're deciding man of the match performances, but again, nice addition to have Elliot Anderson in there. Fantastic 2 performances that he's had while away on international duty at the weekend and on Tuesday. So it'll be interesting to see how he and Nottingham Forest get on in the Champions League. In the Champions League, in the Europa League this season. Especially now that they've had a change of manager too. Right, so let's get back into this one here. And we'll go and swap that round with a Mendy for Real Madrid. We then have a Bobby Clark, a Nubel, Ollie Watkins, Gvardiol, Koke as one of the leader cards, Alphonso Davies, Mark Brunel. So we have got a few that are sort of starting to pop up again in repeat cards. Let's just see what's behind this one to start with. It's going to be a heritage card for Ryan Yates to start off with. We then have a Stealth Strike, Cody Gakpo, so that's another double up on that one. We then have another All Action, which is going to be Kenneth Taylor over at Ajax, and a Cup Champion at the end, another Champions League, which he's got one and one of each. That's a Frank Lampard. I mean, I do like these cards. It's quite a nice way to look at some of the, I guess, legends of the game, and definitely some of the top performers in Champions League history, most of which obviously have finished up playing. Before we then go and get into our limited edition, well, our insert cards. And if it's the same as what we got in the last, then fantastic. So obviously no, is that? No, so there's no relic card in this one. And obviously with the relic card that we got last time, I mean, we turned it straight over and got straight in some inserts, but this time looks like we have had it changed a little bit with the Juventus badge popping up there. Jan Sommer, before getting now into those inserts, unless there's any hidden at the back. No, there is some hidden at the back as well. So it looks like that was quite a special edition pack that we had last time. So we've got an insert at the back there. So let's bring these ones to the front. And we've got a Nene, a Stiller, a Zaire Emery, and then a Jan Sommer before we get into those inserts. So if you're lucky enough potentially to have one of those relic packs, they are all going to be the inserts, and then the standard will be with a few of the regular cards, and then you get onto your inserts. So let's see what that first one's going to be with a counter attack. Looking at Ollie Watkins. Watkins dispatches simple finish to give Aston Villa the lead against Celtic after the Villains break from the back. So again, nice example on the field level. You then have a heritage in there from Manuel Neuer. We're then going to get into those gladiator cards. Again, a nice design, just changing up the colour to the greens on these Warriors. So you've got your Van Dijk. You then have Bellingham and Lautaro Martinez. Before we then get a Black Edge edition. So we're doing quite well on the count of these. Again, yeah, so a lot more central this time. Garassi on there. Obviously then looking at his stats before we finish up with a man of the match of Debast, Zina Debast on there for Sporting. So not a bad pack. Obviously hitting some of those slightly rarer cards again. But we'll now move on to tin number 3 of the Spartans. Obviously quite a long video, this one, so apologies for listening to the drone of my voice. But we'll keep going through so you can see some of these cards. Obviously we'll try and go a little bit quicker now through the standard packs, and then we'll see if we get lucky and then the others, but we won't spend as much time having a look at it. We'll just go through and see which players we're getting. So we have Lewis Ferguson, Konate, Ake, White, Marquinhos, Sommer. What's that come up there? That looks interesting. So we then got McTominay before we then get onto Stanisic. This looks like we might actually have one of the platinum pools. So, oh no, it's not a platinum, but it's one of the Infinity cards, which is, if I just quickly have a look to see what we're looking at in terms of the packs. So you're looking at 1 in every 32 packs on here for this one. And we're looking at a Bukayo Saka. I mean, I must say, Topps have done a fantastic job with all of these designs this year. Another great looking card there for Bukayo Saka. We've got another Showboat coming up as well, so let's get around to that. I thought Ronaldinho, I mean, what a player. I'm looking forward to trying to either get his Hall of Fame or the lethal combo card. I mean, if we managed to get lucky enough to come across one of those, that would be something. After that, we are then on to a Magic Moments with Patrick Schick. So Bag's last gasp 5-minute brace to overcome Karabakh in the Europa League second leg. And then we've got a Cup champion of Xabi Alonso, obviously winning 2 Champions League trophies himself. I think one with Liverpool, one with Real Madrid. And now obviously leading Real Madrid as their manager. Let's try and speed up. Tchouameni, Carter Vickers, Benfica, Ekitike. Obviously, shame that they haven't been able to get him in the Liverpool kit, but that will probably be an update as we go through. John McGinn, Akanji, Pau Vitor, Diego Costa. We then have a Stealth Strike coming up again in Romelu Lukaku. We have a Heritage up next in Unai Simon. We then have a Man of the Match in De Gregorio. And another Cup champion. So the Cup champions seem to be 1 in every pack. 1 on there for... Oh, it won't actually tell us. Oh, it's another Fernando Torres. There we go. So we doubled up on that one already. So an all action coming up as well. Garassi, Nottingham Forest, Madueke, Kang-in Lee, Nick Pope, Ignacio, Fiorentina, Joshua Kimmich, and a Stealth Strike in Nico Williams. Apologies for not keeping it very central. There we go. Counter-attack Fernando Torres. Torres produces iconic UEFA Champions League goal as he rounds the keeper and slots home to send the Blues to Munich. So that's obviously from the game against Barcelona. What do we have next? we've got a Heritage. Okay. In Hulmond over at Sporting, and then a Marcel Sabitzer in the All Action. Before we then go and get into our Gladiators pack. And this time again, no Relic. So let's just pull those ones to the front with Trent, Gloch, James, Van der Ven, De Bast, getting into the three that are covered round the wrong way. So it looks like we've got a 100 club coming up. And we've got a few others round the wrong way. So we have a Heritage in Lewis Ferguson, Magic Moments in Brandon Johnson. We then have our 3 Gladiator cards going from Harry Kane on our Spartans, Ousmane Dembele. Another nice design on these ones, and a Cole Palmer. We then have our 100 club for Barcelona, which is going to be 101. No, it's not Barcelona. Sorry, I thought I saw the Barcelona badge at the top, but it's your unbeatable Ousmane Dembele. So really nice that we've been able to pick that one up. Not just 100 club, but the this year's 101 unbeatable in Ousmane Dembele. And finishing off with a man of the match for Sanse. So, final tin before we then reveal our relic. I think we've done okay with the cards that we've been able to pull so far. I mean, fantastic that we've been able to get a relic. Would be great if we could find anything else as well. But let's see. Hopefully a good sign. Obviously the other two had those on top. Well, 2 and 3 had them on top. Number 1 actually had it at the bottom, which is where we found that relic. So fingers crossed. A good omen, but we will wait and see. So let's just slide those over now that they're out of the box so we can see all the tin designs. And then let's get into these again, trying to go through as quick as we can. So, Milenkovic, Robertson, Dan Burn, Enzo Fernandez, Rafinha, Kenneth Taylor, Weston McKennie, before we're actually getting a Hall of Fame as well. Fantastic. We are getting to see a number of the different designs. And again, on the chrome, fantastic look. Great player as well. But that's quite the result as well, being able to get a Bastian Schweinsteiger. Magic Moments for Acerbi on there. Last minute equaliser sends semi-final into extra time. Which way round are we on the next one? So a Heritage for James Tavernier, finishing up with a Cup champion, Frank Lampard. Sorry, just realised I opened that up off camera, which is not always great to show that we're obviously opening genuine packs. Camavinga, Schlager, Madison, Echeverry, who's obviously gone over to Bayer Leverkusen for the season, Timber, Andrich, DeMarco, Napoli. Before we then go and get into the inserts. So we're going to start off with a Magic Moment upside down for Neymar Jr. Man of the match performance in Barcelona's La Remontada. La remontada victory over PSG. We'll see. We've been able to hit Neymar on its own and Ronaldinho on their own, so lethal combo would be good to find. Stealth Strike, Dumfries. Man of the match in Pedro Porro, and an all-action Weston McKennie. So let's go again here to get into these. Carrazor as a leader. You then got Castro, Bradley, Vitinha, Robin Koch, who's, I think he's gone to Everton, hasn't he? Alphonso Davies, Mark Bernal, Unai Simon. Again, another card in reverse. So let's see what's hiding behind there. Another Lewis Ferguson. We've then got a Stealth Strike for a Samu. Magic Moments, Brennan Johnson. And a man of the match for Dan Burn. Before we then go and get into our final Gladiators edition pack. Are we lucky enough? No, so it wasn't a good omen. But all the same, let's go through these again. So Sabojlai, Hyson, Doué, Napoli, Davies, and then we're going to get into our... we've got 4 showing up this time, so we've got another Stealth Strike. Let's just skip through to that one. Not sure why we've got as many as that. So we've got a Stealth Strike, Dominic Solanke. We have a Canate as the Heritage. We have a Van Dijk on the Cup Champions, obviously having won one Champions League. And then we've got a Dezers, man of the match for Rangers. Before having a look at Declan Rice, Conor Gallagher, and a Granit Xhaka. Which is a bit confusing as to getting Conor Gallagher in there, because you've actually got on the box a Bruno Guimaraes, so then having a Conor Gallagher on the actual card, which is interesting. So unless they change their mind with who they were putting on it, you've got a different player, which printed in the game guide. You have actually got Conor Gallagher in the game guide. But you've got Bruno Guimaraes on the box, which is interesting. Where have we got on the Gladiators? Just while we're having a look at those. Gladiators. Yeah, so looks like if you're having a look at the actual checklist, it has got Declan Rice, Conor Gallagher and Granit Xhaka. So they've clearly changed their mind with moving away from Bruno Guimaraes as being one of those Gladiators. Which, being a Newcastle fan myself, is slightly disappointing to see Conor Gallagher instead of Bruno. But yeah, there we go. But now we have a Relic coming up. So it's a jersey Relic, all got the same design for the border. We've got official memorabilia for Schlotterbeck. Nico Schlotterbeck. So you've got a bit of the jersey in there. Now, what does it say? Jersey Relic from Topps Match Attax. This relic contained in this card was worn by the featured player. The execution of all player-worn memorabilia was witnessed by Topps representatives to guarantee authenticity. So we're not actually finding out which game it was worn in, but it was from a shirt worn by Nico Schlotterbeck. So, yeah, a nice one to get. So, obviously put in some good performances for Dortmund and Germany in recent years. So, we've got your Schlotterbeck. There's some of the highlights. We've got the Hall of Fame Schweinsteiger. We've got the, if I can find them, some of the highlights of what we pulled out. We have the unbeatable Ousmane Dembele. We have the Bukayo Saka Infinity. To then go with, if I can remember any others that we sort of pulled out. To go with another 100 club of Mohamed Salah. And then the other 100 club of Donnarumma. We had a few of the Black Edge editions. And then you've also got those limited editions, which are going to be guaranteed in the starter packs, but again, very nice looking cards in Haaland and Mbappe. So some nice highlights there of the cards, but again, some great designs this year with the Cup Champion, Magic Moments. You've got a nice design on this year's Heritage from the 2011-2012 season. So the Black Edge editions looking nice as well. All Action Heroes with a lovely design. Man of the Matches. Still Strikes. And then your Gladiator cards as well. Some really nice designs and finishes. So, yeah, all in all, some lovely cards, counter attacks in there as well, and some top players that you're going to find as you make your way through this year's collection. Nice to see some of the lesser known sort of competition legends like Adriano showing up on some of the showboats. So ticking off some of the big names: Ronaldinho, obviously Saka, Dembele, Salah, Haaland, Mbappe. So yeah, looking forward to collecting more of these and seeing how we get on. Great to see a relic pop out in one of those tins. Nice Hall of Fame, and then those 100 clubs as well. So we'll keep you updated with how we get on through the collection. Hopefully some more videos to come. But for now, thanks for tuning back into War Collectibles, and we'll see you next time.